There was once a young man named John who lived in a small town. The town was quiet, dusty, and far away from the opportunities that big cities offered. John's life was not easy. John worked at a small roadside stall selling fruits with his father. The stall was old, the profits were small, and most days they barely earned enough to feed the family. Every morning before sunrise, John helped his father arrange fruits on the wooden cart. And every evening, he watched rich people pass by in expensive cars while he stood there under the hot sun. People in the town often looked and laughed at John and said, "Life has already decided your future. You will spend your life behind this stall just like your father. Dreams are for the rich, not for the poor." At first, John believed them. Their words slowly entered his mind. He started thinking, maybe they are right. Maybe this is all my life will ever be. Days turned into months, and the stall felt smaller and smaller to him. John continued working at the fruit stall, but his heart was no longer hopeful. He felt trapped in a life that seemed too small for his dreams. But one evening something unexpected happened. A traveler stopped at the stall to buy some fruit. He was an elderly man with calm eyes and a peaceful smile. As John handed him the fruit, the man noticed the sadness on his face. Why does such a young man look so tired of life? John hesitated for a moment, but finally spoke honestly. "Sir, I want to change my life. I want to do something big, but everyone says a poor man cannot dream big." The old traveler listened quietly. Then he bent down and picked up 2 small seeds from the ground. He placed them in John's hand and asked, "Tell me, what do you see?" John looked at them and replied, "Just 2 small seeds." The old man smiled. "Yes, they look small, but inside each of these seeds is the power to become a giant tree that can provide shade, fruit, and life for many people." John listened carefully. The old man continued, "Your thoughts are just like these seeds. What you plant in your mind will eventually grow in your life. If you plant fear, doubt, and negativity, your life will grow weak. But if you plant belief, courage, and positive thoughts, your life will slowly grow into something powerful." Those words touched John deeply. That night, Johann could not sleep. For the first time, he realized that his biggest enemy was not poverty. It was his own negative thinking. The next morning, John made a decision. He would no longer think like a defeated person. Instead of saying, "My life cannot change," he started telling himself, "I will learn something new every day." Instead of thinking, "I am poor," he told himself, "I am capable." John started observing successful shopkeepers in the market. He learned how they spoke to customers, how they arranged their products, and how they managed their money. At night, after closing the fruit stall, he borrowed old books about business from a small library nearby. He studied them carefully under a dim light while the rest of the town slept. Months passed. John slowly began improving the fruit stall. He cleaned the cart, arranged the fruits beautifully, and greeted every customer with respect and a smile. People began noticing the change. More customers started coming to their stall. People preferred buying fruits from John because of his kindness and honesty. Little by little, the stall began earning more money. John saved every rupee carefully. Years later, he opened a small fruit shop in the local market. It was not big, but it was a start. And John never stopped believing. He worked harder than ever before. He kept learning, improving, and expanding. That small shop eventually turned into a chain of fruit markets across several towns. People who once laughed at John now respected him. But whenever someone asked him the secret of his success, John always smiled and said, "The biggest change in my life was not my business. The biggest change was my thoughts." Because the moment he planted positive thoughts in his mind, his future began to grow. Just like a small seed growing into a powerful tree. Years later, John planted 2 seeds outside his largest store. When someone asked him why he planted them, he replied with a smile, "These seeds remind me of the day I learned the most important lesson of my life. Your future does not depend on the money in your pocket. It depends on the thoughts inside your mind. And that is the true magic of positive thoughts. This story gives us a lesson that your current situation does not define your future. The moment you change your thoughts, you begin changing your life. Positive thoughts are not magic that removes problems, but they are the power that gives you the courage to overcome them. If this video helped you stay focused and motivated you to keep going, please like, share, and subscribe for more inspiring motivation. Share it with a friend who needs direction and hope right now. Thank you for watching.